Hello everyone, welcome to this class. In this class, we're going to continue our class on equations, but this time around we're going to deal with word problem. We've always been dealing with word problem in a lot of things we've solved in this our series. Word problem is simply solving what you know how to do before, but this time around you'll be given a story and you have to translate the story back to the mathematical expression and find the solution to that. So let's start. Example 6. A man walks for 2 hours at a certain speed. He then cycled for 3 times that speed. Remember, he was walking at a speed. He now starts cycling, and he was cycling at 3 times that speed he was walking initially for 4 hours. He goes for 77 kilometers altogether. Find the speed at which he walks. So let's say he was walking for a speed called V, right? But it was for 2 hours. What's distance? All these are the things you need to know when you are solving for a word problem. You're supposed to know some formulas, and those are the things we are going to apply. Distance, we all know, is simply speed times time. Most times speed is represented as v, which is like velocity multiplied by time. So let's call the speed the man was walking initially v, right? And he walked for what? 2 hours. So the distance he walked for the 2 hours will be 2v. That's 2 times v. And at the same time, he started cycling for the 3 times that speed for what? 4 hours. So the distance he cycled for is what? 3 times the speed he was walking for initially times 4. Now this is 2 hours. That's like velocity times time. This is the time. This is velocity. Now in the second case of cycling, this is when he was walking. Excuse me, I think I'm having. So this was when he was walking, and this way he was now cycling. So the speed he was walking was v, and the time was t, which is 2. The speed in this case is 3v, 3 times the speed as we read in the question, and the time is 4 hours. So we have been told that the total kilometer he walked altogether is 77 kilometers. So the total kilometer is 77 kilometers. Are we together? So the distance he walked and this time he cycled is what makes up this 77. So in the case, we'll now have, open up the bracket, have 2v plus, when you open up this bracket, 3v times 4 will give you 12v, will give you what? 77. Are we together? So the next thing we are going to have is 14v is what? 77. So therefore v will now be what? 77 all over 14. And this will give us 7, you have 11 over 2, which is like 5.5. So this is the speed, because v, as we said, it was the speed when he was walking. This is the speed he has when he was walking. So if we want to have the speed he has when he was cycling, we are going to just simply do, let me say, for walking, we have this. Then for cycling, we are going to have, remember they said 3 times. So we're going to have 3 times. Let me use 11 over 2, so it will be much easier for me to calculate. I'm going to have 33 all over 2, which will give me 2 go here, 1, carry on, 2 go here, 6.5. So this is the speed when he was cycling. And remember, what was the formula for? What was the unit of speed? I forgot. This is kilometer per hour. Remember, speed is distance over time, and our distance is in kilometer, and our time is in hour. So this will be the unit. 5.5 kilometers per hour. This one is also 16.5 kilometers per hour. So this is our 2 distance. Remember what I said earlier in this class. After getting your answer, try to put it back into the equation and know if you are going to get what we are being told. We are told that he walked for this for 2 hours. So let me be using improper fraction for easy multiplication. I've been told that he walked at a speed of 11/2 kilometers per hour for 2 hours, and at the same time he walked 3 times that speed for 4 hours. So it will be 3 times that speed, which is a 33/2 for 4 hours. I'll be told that the total distance walked is 77 kilometers. So let's check if this will give us 77 kilometers. This cancel here will give you 11 plus this cancel here, 1 here, 2. So 3 times 2 will give us 66. So the total answer is 77 kilometers. So distance is in kilometer. So whenever you finish solving, if you want to confirm your answer, try to put it into the sentence to know if you are getting exactly what you were told initially. Those are the way to confirm it. So going forward, I may not need to confirm. I'll just get the answer and leave the confirmation for you. So let's go to the next example. Number 7, example 7. It says Jumoke is 11 years older than Amina. So let's say this is Jumoke, and she is 11 years older than Amina. So it will be if this is Jumoke, let's use J as Jumoke and use A as Amina. It simply means that this person is 11 years older than this person. So let's continue. But if we are to express Jumoke in terms of Amina, Jumoke J will be equal to Amina plus 11. Hope we know that. I mean, since Jumoke is 11 years older than Amina, any age Amina is, Jumoke is that age plus 11. So let's take note of these two expressions. This is Jumoke J, then put it very well, and this is Amina A. So J is A plus 11. Let's continue. In 5 years' time, Jumoke will be twice as old as Amina. Find their present age. So in 5 years' time, 5 years' time is simply J plus 5 and A plus 5. That's 5 years' time. Are we correct? This is what makes up 5 years. It means that Jumoke has added extra 5 years and Amina has added another 5 years. We have been told that in 5 years' time, Jumoke will be twice as old as Amina, meaning the age of Jumoke will not be, the age of Amina will be 2 times, or let's say the age of Jumoke will not be, J will not be 2 times A. So let's go. At present, let's say as present, right? We have that J is A plus 11. J is equal to A plus 11. Then in 5 years' time, to 5 years' time, we are going to have that. Let's leave this is Jumoke age in 5 years. It's 2 times Amina age in 5 years. But let's express it properly. You now have the J. That's why I write subscript 5 here initially. So you now have the Jumoke plus 5 is equal to 2 times Amina plus 5. Are we together? When we add 5 years to Jumoke, in 5 years' time, Jumoke age will now be equal to 2 times Amina age in plus 5. So the first thing we are going to do, let's remove this J and replace it with what we already know. So we already know that A plus 11, that's what J is, plus the 5 that we just added is equal to 2A plus 5 in bracket. Are we together? In case this is trying to confuse you, can overlook it. This is just me showing you that this is Jumoke age in 5 years and this is Amina age in 5 years, and this is the expression that Jumoke age in 5 years is Amina times 5. But that is if we are expressing the actual age they are in the 5 years time. But then we go back to using the present expression here, where we now have that J plus 5. Instead of this J5, that's J5 is same as J plus 5. This A5 is same as A plus 5. When we have to express it as J and A. I just hope this is not confusing us. So when we now have something like this, we'll now start solving. We have A plus 11 plus 5 is 16. It's equal to, open up the bracket, 2A plus 10. Right? So let me rewrite it as 2A plus 10 equal to A plus 16. So I'll bring a to this side of the equation and bring 16 to the 10 to the other side of the equation. If a comes to this equation, you have 2a. This is plus. So when you cross equation to minus, equal to, this is 16. When 10 crosses the equation, it becomes minus 2. So a will now be what? 6. Because 16 minus 10 is 10. So I'm in that age as at present is what? 6. So what they say we should find is their present ages. Present age means the age they are at the moment. This present. So Amina is 6. So if Amina is 6, it means that Jumoke is 6 plus 11, which is what? 17. So these are their present ages, 6 and what? 17. If you really want to know, okay, as I said, let me know if what I got is actually correct. You can do something like, okay, in 5 years' time, which is Amina as at that time, will now be 5. 6 plus 5 will give you what? 11. Making that mistake. Then Jumoke will be what? 17 plus 5 will give you what? 22. So you can see that this is 2 times of that. So these are the way you can cross-check if you're actually correct in your final answer. So let's go to the next question. Example 8, we have a trader buy n oranges at the rate of 5 oranges for 90 naira. He bought n at rate of 5 for 90 naira. 8 of the oranges are bad. So inside this n, 8 are bad. So she sell the rest at the rate of 4 oranges for 120 naira. So I can say the rest that he sold. After 80 that is bad, I think for what they said, she sold the rest. We have been told that n minus 8 at rate of 4 oranges for 120 naira and make a profit of 900 naira. So profit is 900 naira. Find n. You see the way I'm trying to express it. She bought something at the rate of this and sold at the rate sold 8 was bad. She now sold the remaining at the rate of that and made a profit of 100 naira and 900 naira. So we are being told to find what is profit. Profit is simply selling price minus cost price. Okay, and set to put price. Just know that selling price minus cost price. So we are being told that this whole transaction here minus this whole transaction here will give you 900 naira. So what's the selling price? You have n minus 8, right? But he was selling at the rate of what? 4. So he was selling at the rate of 4 for 120. But from here now, if you want to get the actual rate for selling one, you just simply do 90 over 5 for the cost. For the cost, you have 5 cancel here, 1 carry 3, 16 naira for 1. And here we just do 120 divided by 4, 4 cancel here, 30 naira. So I can just simply say n minus 8 because he bought n, but 8 was bad, so he discarded the 8 and sold the remaining times this 30 minus n, that's the cost price, times 16 is equal to what? 900. Are we together? So if we open up this bracket, we have 30n minus 30 times, this is 240 minus 16n is equal to what? 900. So 30 minus 16 will give you what? 14. N minus 240 is equal to what? 900. So 240 cross the equation, you have 14n is, because it's minus, so when you cross the equation it becomes plus, you have 900 plus 240, which will give you 1000. Okay, 1140. Are we together? Well, I think I made a little mistake here. 90 divided by 5 is 18. Those are noticed, you're a brilliant student. Thank you for observing that. So if we go by here will be 18, right? And here too will also be 18. For that reason, 30 minus 18 will give you 12 here. Sorry for the error. So here too will be 12. Sorry for that. So here I will now have 12n is 114. I just noticed that I just felt like something is wrong. So n will be 1140 all over 12, which should give us what? 95. So this is what was actually bought, 95 oranges. So if you want to confirm if your answer is correct, you can simply do 95 oranges times 18, and you now do 8 was by, you subtract 8 from here, the remaining thing times 30, and check if you get your profit as 900. So that's it. Let's go to the next example. So let's go to exercise 6D. This exercise 6D, number 15. We have a trader buy some egg at 15 naira each. And 15 naira, bought an egg. We are not told the egg, let's call it n. She find that 5 of them are broken. She sell the rest at 20 naira each. So n minus 5, because 5 are broken. We sold those ones at 20 naira each and makes a profit of 340 naira. 340 naira. This is almost the same thing we saw in the previous class. Is your profit? How many eggs did she buy? This is almost what we saw in the previous class. So let's go by it. She bought some eggs, we called n at 15 naira each. So 5 was broken, so he discarded the 5 and sold the rest at 20 naira and made this profit. So as we all know, that profit is simply the selling price minus the cost price. So in this our case, we have that 340 is simply, what will be our selling price? N minus 5 times 20. So n minus 5 times 20 minus what will be our cost price? 15 times n, because this is the total x that was bought. So when we open up 3, let me bring this to this side. So I have something like n minus 5 times 20 minus 15n equal to 340. Still the same thing. So we open up the bracket, we have 20n minus 5 times 20 is what? 100 minus 15n is 340. So 20n minus 15n will give you what? 5n minus 100 is 340. So 100 crosses the equation. We have 5n to be 340, because it's minus 7 equals plus 100, which is what? 400 and what? 40. So 5n is 440. So n is, we divide both side by 5. Divide both side by 5. So 5 divided here, we have 8. Carry 4. 5 divided here, we also have 8. So n will be 8. So the number of x he bought initially was 8x. So you can put this 8 inside this sentence to confirm if the answer is correct. Let's go to the next question. So number 16, the result of adding 15 to x and dividing the answer by 4 is the same as taking x from 80. Express this statement as an algebraic equation. Simply say result of adding 15 to x. So we have x plus 15, that's adding 15 to x, and dividing the answer by 4. So we divide it by what? 4. We don't need to look for an answer since you don't know the answer. So this is still the answer. Is the same as taking x from 80. So it's the same, means is equal to 80. Taking x from 80 means 80 minus x, because you're taking it away. So they say express the statement as an algebraic equation. So this is the first answer. This is your first answer. Now then the B says find the value of x. Finding value of x simply to solve this. So the best way to solve is, since it's a fraction, remember what I said, when you have a fraction, multiply by the LCM. In this case, 4 is the only denominator, so multiply everything by 4. So you have 4 times x plus 15, 4 over 4, equal to 4 in bracket 80 minus x. So when you solve out, you have 4 cancel, you have x plus 15 as 4 times 8 will give you what? 4 times 80 is 320. Yeah, 320 if I'm not wrong. 320 minus 4x. I'm going to bring x to this side and bring 15 to the other side. So this is x. When minus 4 crosses the equation, becomes plus 4x. And this is 320. When minus 15 crosses the equation, becomes minus 15. So in that case, you have that 5x, but when you add this, you have 5 is equal to, when you subtract this, you have 315. Are we together? Sorry, this is 305. 320 minus 15 is 305. So we divide both sides by 5. So x will now be 305 divided by 5. So your x will be 5 cancel here 6, 5 cancel here 1. So your x is 61. So you see how simple it is. All you need to do is understand the sentence, express it as an equation. What they just did here is trying to teach us how to solve for word problem, because by asking us this A, they already helped us to solve, express it as an equation. Then B is solving for it. So let's solve the next and final example. So this is the number 20 of exercise 6D. We have a train travels a certain journey and supposed to arrive at midday. Midday is like 12 noon. When its average speed is 440 km per hour, it arrives at 1 p.m. Let's say the average speed, which is like V, equal to 40 km per hour, arrived at what? 1 p.m. When its average speed is 48 km, it arrives at 11 a.m. So let's say V at 48 km per hour, it arrives at 11 a.m. It makes more sense that when the speed increases, the time it will arrive will be decreasing. I will make it, because this is 1 p.m. means far away, 11 a.m. means closer. So it makes more sense. It arrives at 1 a.m. What is the length of the journey? That the distance this train is moving is the same. The distance it traveled at this speed to arrive by this time, and the distance it traveled at this same speed to arrive at this time is the same. So we can call the distance D. So one thing we know is that the distance is what? D. So the next thing you're going to ask yourself is, what's the formula for distance? We all know that distance is simply speed times time, right? In that case, you can say that time is simply distance all divided by speed from this formula. So there's something we observed here. We notice that when the speed is 40, the time is it's reached by 1 p.m. But when the speed is 48, it's reached by 11 a.m. What's the difference between 11 a.m. to 1 a.m.? Assuming we are dealing with kilometer per hour, which is what we are being also told, so that we are not assuming that's what it is. This difference between 1 p.m. to 11 a.m. is what? 2 hours. Are we making sense? So we already know that the time difference when you move in this speed and in this speed is 2 hours. So the next thing we're going to do is time difference. The first distance is D, because it's what this guy moved at this speed. It's the same thing he moved at that same speed. You can say D, which is the same distance, divided over 48. Are we together? Minus D over 40 is giving you what? 2 hours. It may make more sense that the time it will take to make this journey when you are moving in this speed is not the same time it will take to move this journey. This one will be faster, while that one will be longer. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to use the distance over time to get the time I'm using to move this one, and also use distance over time to get the time I need to move. So the difference is 2 hours from what we have already been told. So this is the equation we are solving for, though this hour is not needed here, so you can neglect it. So the first thing we are going to see, we are doing with fractional stuff. Remember I said about fraction, look for the LCM. The LCM of 48 and 40 is what? 240. So we do that. 240 divided by 48, we get 6 times d, we have 6d, minus 40. 240 divided by 4 to have 5. I think I'm making a mistake. 240 divided by 48 is 5. Then 240 divided by 40 have 6 times d, have 60. So is equal to what? 2. Are we together? So by the time we solve for this, we are going to have this minus this, we have minus d over 240 is what? 2. So our d will be 2 times 240, which is what? 480. So because we are dealing with kilometer per hour, it will be expressed in kilometers. Mind you, this negative sign, I didn't make use of it. Why? Because we are dealing with distance. First, distance can never be negative to begin with. Secondly, is the fact that this negative sign is only coming because of the arrangement I use in subtracting this. You understand? Initially, it's supposed to be d over 40 minus 0.40. Reason being that 40 has the longer time. So 1 p.m. minus 11 a.m. is what gives this 2 hours. If you are moving forward, but I rearranged it so that I'm having this negative sign. So I have to discard it. All I need to do is initially it's supposed to have been d over 40 minus d over 48 is equals to 2 hours. This is what I'm supposed to have. So if I've done it, this 6 will be here, this 5 will be here. So the d will be what? Positive. So it's like that. So your answer in kilometer is 480. And that's that for this class. Thank you and see you in the next class.